Hello and welcome once again to What Culture Gaming. I am the prestigious one, aka Joe Hendry, and I'm here to discuss an all too common situation because you've scraped and saved every penny that you have to buy the latest games console or gaming PC, and you're all good to go, but there's just one problem, and that problem is that you haven't budgeted correctly. You don't have any money to buy any games, and it's frustrating. But the prestigious one comes with a solution because there are some amazing free titles out there that you can play right now. And I'm not talking about the ones that leave you having conversations as to, son, why have you spent 11 grand on Clash of Clans? None of those pay-to-win games. I'm talking about games that are amazing and totally free. I'm Joe Hendry, this is What Culture Gaming, and this is 10 amazing games that are totally free to play.
And here's the one that prompted me to make this list. It was when I found out that STARCRAFT and the Brood War expansion were completely free. STARCRAFT was a groundbreaking strategy game and it really laid the foundation for many other games, perhaps some of which we might even see in this list after this, who knows. But let's just recap it real quick. It's got an amazing story, it's fighting in space, you've got humans, Zerg, and the outrageously overpowered Protoss, whose basic peasant worker can mash about 45 of your precious marines. It's rare that a game comes along and redefines a genre, and this really feels like a benchmark in gaming. Respect it and play it, because coming soon is the HD remake of STARCRAFT, which for that one you might have to pay for, so enjoy the free one while you can. Speaking of groundbreaking games, in at number 9 it's Tomb Raider, but this one isn't on a console. No, you can play this one within the comfort of your browser. This was the PlayStation's quintessential 3D platforming game, and it was the reason for a generation of males mysteriously being obsessed with cone-like structures. You know exactly what I'm talking about. This classic game is available in its entirety for free, and once again within the comfort of your own browser. You don't even have to download anything. Literally just type in the URL XPROGER.INFO /projects/OPENLARÁ. It means open software. In at number 8, Tribes Ascend. This claims to be the world's fastest first-person shooter, complete with jetpacks, skiing, tanks, grav cycles, and more. It came out in 2012 and had a comeback in 2015, and the game has been praised for offering a fast and frantic team-based first-person shooter with plenty to do. And the great thing about this is you're not drowning in endless microtransactions just to try and get a few kills. Fair enough, the game is past its peak, but beggars can't be choosers, and this is well worth a few of your hours. You obviously have loads of them to spare, otherwise you'd have money to pay for games. In at number 7, it's the fantastic Team Fortress 2. This began life simply as a mod for Quake by Robin Walker and John Cook, who were employees of the Valve Corporation, who at the time were working on Half-Life, because, you know, as well as making a seminal title, who doesn't develop classic multiplayer games on the side in their spare time? Originally, the series was intended to have a serious, modern, realistic look, but they decided to take it in the direction of having fun, cartoon-like visuals, very reminiscent of the Timesplitter series. It's praised for its deep and balanced gameplay, humor, and creative use of character classes. Go on, download it, and have a laugh. Up next, we've got Command & Conquer Red Alert and Tiberian Sun, which are now free. All you have to do is go to cncnet.org and download the whole entire thing. Now, as you know, the prestigious one is a legal beagle, so I will need to look into the legalities because this doesn't seem to be an official EA thing. So is it legal? I'm not sure. Maybe, but guess what? If you want to stay on the right side of the law, you feel bad for EA, this is what you can do. You can get Command & Conquer Tiberium Alliances, which is all above board, and like Tomb Raider, it can be accessed in your browser with no downloads, so you can get away with playing at work when you finally do get round to getting a job. Up next, something just a little bit different, and this is Open Transport Tycoon Deluxe. That's a bit of a mouthful, but it's an open source simulation based on the popular Transport Tycoon Deluxe. And the classic magazine Next Generation, which is now defunct, reviewed it and dubbed it the best economic sim since Civilization. That's high praise, but is it justified? Yes, it is justified. This comes from an era where simulation games were serious business and Transport Tycoon was right at the top of the pile. What's impressive though is that Open Transport Tycoon Deluxe isn't simply a port of the original, it's been completely reverse engineered from the original, which takes some serious time and dedication to get it right, showing that the support for the game is niche but very, very strong indeed. Go and give Open Transport Tycoon Deluxe a few of your hours. Moving on, it's world's biggest PAC-MAN. This is a project from Soap Interactive and it was created in conjunction with NAMCO Bandai, so it can be considered an official PAC-MAN release. But it was also created in conjunction with Microsoft, who wanted to create a game that could really show off what Internet Explorer can do, which we all know, by the way, isn't very much. But when it comes to this game, they certainly got it right. This is basically a massive collection of PAC-MAN levels where users can create their own stages, and at the time of recording has seen 13.5 billion dots eaten, 67 million lives lost, and users have clubbed together to create a whopping 254,078 mazes, all within your browser, so there's no messing about with downloads. As mentioned, it was originally developed back in 2011 to promote what HTML5 and Internet Explorer 9 could do, and it was also PAC-MAN's 30th birthday. Now, if you're going to play it, good luck beating the high score from Stephen Wish, who managed to score over 5 million points in a single sitting, verified by Guinness World Records. 3 to go now, and up next we've got Guild Wars 2. This is a beloved MMORPG, with the hook being that it provides an adventure that is responsive to player decisions, which we've seen before, but it's actually rather interesting that this can be done within a multiplayer environment. The game was a big hit quickly, and by August 2015 had sold 5 million copies, so rather than milk it and try to take more of your money for the game, they decided, you know what, let's make it free. The game is created by ArenaNet, and the president Mike O'Brien explains why they decided to make the core game free. He says they're so confident that if people love the core game, they're going to invest in paying for the expansions, which now means that we can play the awesome Guild Wars 2 core game completely free of charge. It's been universally praised across the industry, and it's just waiting for you to play it. Up next, we've got Serious Sam. Serious Sam is available right now to download for free on Steam. The developers Crow Team bucked the trend and decided to build their own engine, the Serious engine, specifically for this game, instead of relying on, say, the Unreal Engine. And at the time, this differed from most first-person shooters in the genre because it allowed gamers to see in detail across great distances, and it allowed for a great deal of enemies to appear on screen at one time. The result was a first-person shooter that feels truly different to the contemporaries that came out at the same time, and it had 16-person multiplayer as well, which at the time was a pretty sweet addition. The game is highly regarded, and whilst looking a little bit dated now, let's not forget that when it comes to gameplay, it did pick up several Game of the Year awards, and it's definitely worth a revisit, especially when you're not paying a dime for it. Last but certainly not least, we've got the unbelievably addictive Dota 2. This is by far the most popular game on Steam, and for good reason. The game can have anywhere up to 1 million players playing the game at one time, and last year generated more than 1.7 billion in revenue last year. And guess what else? The money that you use to pay for things in the game doesn't actually affect the core gameplay. Any money that you pay towards the game is for purely cosmetic items. You can buy a multitude of cool looking weapons and armor for your favorite hero for anywhere under £1, or you can bid for the legacy Ethereal Flames War Dog, which sold for $38,000. Basically, that's the best part of 40 grand to dress up the little courier that brings you items from the shop. Yeah, 40 grand. But beyond the madness of these purely superficial macro transactions, if you will, Dota 2 is an exceptionally well-balanced, highly competitive strategy game that is, well, quite simply more than just a game. This is a way of life for some people, a sport for some people, and it involves critical thinking as much as it does rely on your reflexes. Dota 2 encapsulates quite simply what is, in my opinion, the most complete free gaming experience available online today. So enjoy those 10 free gifts directly from the prestigious one. I'm Joe Hendry, this is What Culture Gaming, and if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's @Joe S. Hendry. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and I shall see you next time.